Welcome to the Path of Least Resistance, Episode 6. Today we're going to do the 4.5 star weekly for the week of August 5th, 2024. We're going to use Annie. I haven't looked at this yet, so hopefully this works. We're using Luden's Tempest and 2 times Dreadway Chase Gun. Every time we play Annie, we'll be able to do 16 damage here. The rules for this weekly are Water's Flow. When the foe plays a spell, grant its weakest unit +1/+1. On guard, rounds start, create a fleeting single combat in all players' hands. We'll be able to use this to kill Annie and then play another one. The one downside is adding cards to Annie's hand tends to be bad, and they always have deadly. When the foe summons a unit, grant its stats equal to half its stats rounded up, and the foe's spells and skills deal double damage. And we're going up against Misfortune as the end boss. And the mid boss looks like it's Jinx. Neither of those are particularly hard on their own. We're looking for ideally something that copies Annie, like Stabilizer. Something with Deathless would work too. We get Perfected Mana Flow, so we'll take that. It's almost never the wrong choice to take it. It'll let us play out a Mana Soul Student earlier. Okay, we do get 2 Annie in hand to start, which is winning. And I forgot to count properly, but that should be okay. And overfilled my hands with warning shots. We play our 3 warning shots. We attack. We do want to get a card out of our hand here, so we're going to play Spellslinger. And then next round, our goal is going to be to play the single combat, kill Annie, play warning shots. Just got to make sure that we don't overfill our hand again. We have 7 cards, so we'll get our 4. I'll take cost reduction on the Spellslinger here. And then for a support champion, we do have Perfected Mana Flow, so we could take something a little pricier like this Gwen here. We do have Lucian. Nothing here is like immediately going to give us extra damage. But I'll take the Gwen. There's a choice between Minotaur Reckoner and Monkey Munitions. Going into gold, and slot bot. Kind of want to go down the middle here. So I'll take this Monkey Munitions just to avoid the vicious enemy on the Minotaur Reckoner. Also, I don't want to be stunned. Baboon does have the ability to challenge a lot of your units, so you don't necessarily get to pick your blocks, and it also can make a wide board very quickly, so that might be somewhat problematic, but we'll find out. Okay, so last time we forgot to play a card first. This time we won't do that. We're going to play Argyle.
How can I help?
Take 5 damage. Next round we'll take much more. We don't have second Annie in hand, so we don't want to kill this Annie immediately. We're only going to do 5 damage to a blocker, so if they block with this Flame Choppers, we'll lose Annie, and we're not trying to do that here. This round we intend to play something where we get some blockers in hand. Or on the board, rather. So we'll play a Spell Slinger first.
It's Kythera, Annie. Hey, Tibbers.
They respond by killing our Annie.
Thanks, turn.
Likely they'll just attack here. Yeah.
Excuse me?
And we take 15. Since we don't have to worry about blocking anymore, we can play Gwen. Gwen will potentially get killed by a single combat from a Baboon. That seems like the most likely thing that'll happen next round. We have a second Gwen in hand. If we can level her up, then we're in a really good spot. I don't know if we'll be able to do that though. So we're just going to open attack here. It'll do 4 damage from Gwen's champion ability. Not sure why that's killing me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this should be fine. So we do get our level up. Gwen dies, which triggers the rally. We drained 4 life. Now we can, they don't have single combat in hand, they don't have mana anymore. We can do something like drop the Prefect here. This will give us a nice blocker for next turn. And we'll play Gwen again. This attack is safe. And we'll get to heal a little bit of life. We're going to play a Strike Up the Band. That'll give us 2 defenders.
Don't hold back. Cut to the chase.
We're going to block with the Prefect onto this 6 damage. We're going to take 6 either way here. We can use single combat to kill the other 6 damage. And then we lose our 2 ghostly defenders, but that's fine, they're ephemeral anyway. Gwen blocking the last flame chompers here, so we keep Gwen alive. Play Legion Saboteur to attack with next round and Conductor of the Mist. You could play the Captive Greyback as well, but I think that's actually not the right idea. We attack in this order to give Gwen the benefit from her hollowed. And so one of the things I like to do, like we could respond to this maybe if we wanted to, is not turn a win into a loss. So here the opponent's going to die, there's no reason to play any other cards. Sometimes you can overthink yourself into losing. So we did end up taking a lot of damage there, but we healed a lot of it back with Gwen. So that was pretty nice. Here, there's no way we can ever take the Heroine. Spirit Journey is actually pretty cool. We can use it on Annie if we get Annie. And our choices going forward are Twisted Catalyzer and Jagged Butcher. Jagged Butcher seems like it's probably the easier choice. I'm going to take this gold chest. And both of them lead into this shop, which we're going to want. Let's see what Jagged Butcher has. So we want Annie in hand. We don't pull one, so we're just mulling our full hand. We still didn't pick up Annie. Alright, so we're going to play down the Mageseeker Student.
I can see the magic. Don't know much, do ya?
Going to use a free spell slinger to stun the 5/5 and also get the Mageseeker damage out. We can attack pulling the Powder Keg, so our spell slinger doesn't die. We can use it for defense next round. And if the Jagged Butcher blocks here, our Mageseeker Student stays alive.
Suppose you want in on this.
Yeah, we get Annie, which is great. 7 cards in hand means we'll be able to play all 4 warning shots.
Suppose you want in on this.
Since we have Luden's Tempest, and there's a good chance they're going to single combat Annie next round, we're going to use Guile here to get the Mageseeker Student Magic Embers proc.
You like spiders?
You wanna play?
I'm preserving my Nexus health a little and killing Annie. I'm not super concerned about her, about not having her in hand. We're going to do 3 damage next turn with Magic Embers, 3 damage with the attack from the Legion Saboteur.
I wanna learn. I'm not history.
We're going to full send here. We're going to use Spirit Journey on our Mageseeker Student to preserve him, but also to fill his life up here. This also means that if we play something like Ghastly Band, or Strike Up Band, since he's new, we get the second Magic Embers proc. Now, if we use single combat, we'll just win the game. And since we're forced to get a single combat next turn, and we can't lose, we can also use Guile, just in case something goes wrong.
That's so cool. Spell embers.
And take Noxian Guillotine here. We can play it multiple times. Raza is maybe considerable as well. But we have small units and our opponent has very big units. And I think it's better for us to do it this way. We'll take out the gates, it's not bad and it's free. Cutting a card's going to be good for us. We've been having problems drawing our champion. And I'm going to get rid of this Conductor of the Mist. I think that's going to be the best choice. It's only 1 blocker, and it costs 3, which makes it one of our more expensive cards. Going into Jinx, you just have to be aware that Jinx has Get Excited, and when she attacks, she does a Super Mega Death Rocket. So, what our plan is here is going to be to skip the first turn, play Annie, Spirit Journey. We draw second Annie. So we're just going to play Annie, let Annie die, and then play second Annie next turn. We play our Guile to reduce our hand size.
Let's go make some friends. Where is it?
Then we play 4 warning shots. We can attack with Annie for free here. So we're not worried about Nexus health because this is a boss node and we'll refill it after. But if we weren't worried about Nexus health, we would play something to like Guile to create more block or to stop an attacker. Here I'm going to use Death's Hand to get 4 more damage in. And this way when Annie dies, we'll be able to replay her.
Bye-bye. Come out, wherever you are.
Then we just play our warning shots.
Did you like that, Tibbers? Wasn't it fun?
Mana deposit is probably better on Gwen than Annie here. Annie's already very cheap. I kinda want to re-roll, see if we can get like stabilizer. Don't. It'd be better to put something on Gwen. Here's Shadow Totem. Shadow Totem's fantastic. And then here we can just take something for blockers. So Seer of the Sands is very fast. And Lord Broadmane can come out very strong, but we do have Guile, so I think that's the safer thing. The choice between Gold Chest and Healer I didn't even consider because I'm just afraid that I'll die to Seer of the Sands. So as I said before, cards in hand is a problem for Annie. It's going to be especially bad when we are trying to get advantage of the Shadow Totem. However, even if we don't get full use out of the Shadow Totem, we still get the extra effect from the Luden's Tempest, which makes it, which will make it so that we have more damage from the same amount of warning shots, and so that'll still be pretty strong. We're going to play the Legion Saboteur just to give us an extra card space. And we have 6 cards in hand, so we should get 5 warning shots out of this. So we'll play those for 25 damage. And then we can attack here. We're not worried about losing the Legion's Saboteur. We just want that extra 5 damage. Probably worth it to attack at the Vanguard Lookouts too. I don't think they would have had the option to block them. So that would have been 2 more damage, which would have been winning. There's second Annie, which is great. Then we're going to kill our Annie. Play second Annie.
Did you like that, Tibbers? Wasn't it fun?
We can take House Spider. We can either choose to remove it later to get rid of 4 cards, or it's a pretty good early defender. We almost never take cards from shops. This gives summoned +2/+2, which is fine. We have the House Spider, which is summoned cards, and also second Annie is summoned. I think we still want a power over champion items. Champion item will give us an extra Annie, which is maybe really good, but a power could be anything. I don't know. I think Mageseeker Inciter might be an easier node than Herald of Spring. Herald of Spring has life gain, which is one of our weaknesses, because we're trying to do like exactly 40 damage basically. So I'm torn between which of those decisions was more correct. We start with the attack token, so I'm just going to get rid of everything that isn't Gwen. Keeping Gwen in hand will give us a better shot at drawing into Annie. And same as last time, we're going to play Legion Saboteur, then we're going to play Guile. Now we need to kill one of our guys to get second Annie out. I might not even play Annie this turn, because we can use Disintegrate on this guy and just remove him. We're still doing a fair amount of damage here. We don't have second Annie in hand either. And the less cards we have, the better to take advantage of that Shadow Totem.
Won't pass these walls.
We block with a 3 attack. He was going to die anyway. We drop Mana Soul Student, so we just do a little bit of extra damage. And I think we don't want to play House Spider for sure. We can't play anything else on the board, otherwise we won't get 2 Annies out. But we can play this Guile to get 3 damage from Magic Embers. We could have also played single combat, and that might have been better to kill one of our guys off to make space on the board. Here we're going to play Guile again. They're going to kill the Mana Soul Student, which is fine. We've already triggered his power. We could use Noxian Guillotine here to just remove the Mageseeker Inciter. Oh, Spell Shield prevented him from dying anyway, so that's fine. Okay, and use single combat, removing our silenced Vanguard Lookout. That'll set it up to be removed with Noxian Guillotine next round if we need to. And it gets a card out of our hand. We can play Gwen down. And then we can play Annie. I think this should probably just be winning. We get 6 warning shots. Yeah. The Mageseeker Inciter's big thing that it can do is use redoubled whatever, and just doubles their attack, and I think it gets copied, so it makes very big units. But if you can remove a single unit, it's usually not a problem. We can take Strike Up the Band here and remove it. Stabilize we're going to take just because it's not really going to help us too much going forward. Having 3 Annies on board does give us 3 Luden's Tempest. We're never going to be able to take advantage of the extra warning shots, we're never going to be at 0 cards in hand. We're already struggling to take advantage of the warning shots we have. Alright, and we start with 2 Annie. This Misfortune has 50 hit points, so we just need to pay attention to that. We could Guile, but I'd rather just remove her from existence here. We can do that with our Disintegrate. So let's do that.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
So this is less damage than we could have gotten, but we're not planning on winning this turn.
I have my orders.
And we're just trying to get some cards out of hand. We want 3 open spots for our 3 Annies. That'll draw.
Nothing feels better than the sun on your scales.
Stun that guy.
In a lot of pain.
Rain of Fire is expected.
Get him.
We can stun the 4/6. And since they're going to kill that anyway, we can throw single combat in. Now we have a lot of board space, we have a lot of hand space. We drop our Annie. And each of these does 6, giving us a nice 36 damage. Do an open attack. If they block Annie, we play Annie. If they don't block Annie, they just lose the game.
The ocean charts our course.
And if we were concerned about anything at this point, we could play some cards out of hand so that we get more warning shots, but 1 warning shot will win at this point. And that's it.
Let's go make some more friends.
Pretty smooth. Boom Baboon was actually the hardest node there. And we get a gold vault. And inside that vault are echo fragments, which, sure, why not? Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.